Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another daily video. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about EA. Something that we usually don't do, but something happened. And yeah, oh wait, we talked about EA just a couple of days ago with Doug Bowser because he was the vice president of EA back in the day under the guy who wanted to monetize reloading in first person shooters. That was fun. Oh yeah, those are the good times. But yeah, EA. This is an article written by published by PC Gamer, written by Ted Litchfield, and it's been published 3 days ago. EA is reportedly about to be sold in a record-setting $50 billion buyout to an investor group that includes private equity and Saudi Arabia. So let's dive in. As always, I'm going to link everything that I show you in the description box below. As reported by the Wall Street Journal, gaming giant EA is set to go private. That is no longer be traded on the stock market. Oh, that is interesting. That is multiple implications here. In a $50 billion deal with an investor group, this would be the largest such leveraged buyout ever recorded. Damn, okay, but wasn't there something bigger? Or maybe just the money amount was bigger, but I can't remember. What was Activision being sold for? Wait, we're going to do this in real time again. Activision Blizzard sold for how much? $69 billion in October 2023. Okay, but maybe because they were bought by Microsoft and now they're being now they were integrated, it's basically just one company. This is a little bit different, I think. But yeah, doesn't really matter right now. This is not the point. The point here is also gaming giant EA is set to go private, that is, no longer be traded on the stock market. This means they are going to do some internal reworks, which they know will suffer. And they don't want the stock to crash, so they're taking it private so that they can do their changes and whatever they're doing. I don't know how long it will take, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, and then they're going to go back to the regular stock market so that the stock can be traded again. But yeah, this is big, this is huge. According to the Wall Street Journal's anonymous source, so trust me bro, EA could be sold for as much as 50 billion. Though the final price has not yet been agreed on and EA has an estimated market value of $43 billion. Damn, I only knew that the stock is very expensive. Well, at least for me it's expensive. The group of investors reportedly includes the private equity firm Silver Lake and the government of Saudi Arabia's public investment funds. That is interesting. The deal could be announced as early as next week and would be the largest leverage buyout ever recorded. A leverage buyout is when a private equity firm uses a significant amount of borrowed money to seal the deal, with the asset set to be acquired used as collateral in the debt. Oh, that is also interesting. So they borrowed money just so they can buy EA, this private equity firm. This effectively leaves the acquired company liable for the debt. If its income can adequately service the debt, it will bear the consequences of a default, not the investors who made the purchase. And that usually means closures and layoffs. That is the big point. Yeah, there it is. Usually, layoffs will not negatively affect the stock. It's quite contrary. Layoffs will bring the stock up because reasons. And the thing here is, all these layoffs, because it's Saudi Arabia, it's going to be all the DEI people. Everyone who was basically involved with, oh, what was the name? The non-binary game, Dragon Age Whaleguard. Yeah, all those people. And everyone who has involvement with this kind of ideology, basically. As reported by the Los Angeles Times, one such leveraged buyout eventually resulted in bankruptcy, and closure for the once ubiquitous toy retailer Toys R Us. Wait, what? This is why Toys R Us is no more? Damn. I remember going to Toys R Us back in the day here in Germany, but man, that is such a long time ago. The fact that the reported cost of the deal, up to $50 billion, is close to EA's estimated value, was $7 billion between friends, could give reason for optimism that EA's debt burden would be proportional to its means. Even aside from eventual bankruptcy, though, there's precedent of acquisitions like this causing massive disruptions to the company. Microsoft cut 1,900 jobs at Xbox in January 2024, and they laid off a lot more people. They fired a lot more people at the beginning of this year. Shortly after its acquisition of Activision Blizzard, there it is, and Blizzard Entertainment was heavily affected in particular. Yeah, but World of Warcraft is still weird. Maybe you remember the incredibly stupid cutscene with the chick with the glasses and the other DEI hire, and oh my god, it was so bad. But yeah, the other known quantity in the purported deal, the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund has been making inroads in games for several years as part of a multifaceted push into global media and entertainment. This has included sports, Saudi Pro League football, Live Golf? I don't know what Live is. The Professional Fighters League. Okay. Entertainment. Investment in Hollywood films. Okay. Ownership stakes in gaming companies like Nintendo and Capcom, including a 10% stake in EA prior to this deal. This to me sounds like they're going to basically want to make a huge conglomerate. Is conglomerate the best word for it? Probably not. But something like Tencent. This feels like that. And this, I don't like that they are going to do something like this. Sports entertainment. Saudi Arabia made $1 billion, made a $1 billion deal in 2018 to host major WWE events in the kingdom, and the promotion recently announced that WrestleMania 43 will be held in Riyadh? Riyadh? I don't know. In 2027. Critics of the Saudi Arabian government have called this practice sports washing. Oh, yeah. Or using a growing influence and ubiquity in the entertainment industries to distract from the government's human rights records. Yes, sports washing is something that the German government loves to do because whenever they want to push a law that is not in the best interest of the public, you know, the people living in the country, and, well, we are the ones that keep the country running, by the way. But yeah, every time they want to push something that is against the public, it's during a big sports event. Yeah, because Germans, we love Fußball. And yeah, let's continue. EA, much like its competitor Ubisoft, has struggled in recent years. Dude, Ubisoft and struggling in recent years is a very charming way to say they are shitting their beds. Once formidable titans, both have been left behind as consolidation efforts have turned Microsoft and Sony into unassailable super heavyweights. At the same time, smaller publishers like DreadXP, Devolver, and PlayStack have become ubiquitous at the other end of the budget spectrum. Yeah, which is totally fair. I mean, I don't like that the Saudi Arabian government is buying EA because, again, I don't want conglomerates like this because it will make the video game industry or video game the community worse, because we already see this with Chinese games. When the Chinese government is into video games, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is our latest example with censorship and changing the story of the game and whatnot. This will happen with the Saudi Arabian games now, with EA games. This is going to have an impact on the next Star Wars game. What was it? Fallen Jedi Survivor, then Fallen Order? Or was it vice versa? Doesn't really matter. I did not like the first one up until the end when Darth Vader comes and it gets awesome, and that's it. And then it ends. Yeah, EA lost the lucrative FIFA license. They did? Fuck yeah, finally. Oh yeah, and also with smaller publishers, I'm pondering the thought of starting my own little publishing thingy because I really want to help indie devs to publish their games, and I just love the video game industry. I just want to support it. I want it to get better. And having more and more people that help indie games is the best for all of us. But yeah, again, EA lost the lucrative FIFA license, leading to its new genericized EAFC series. Beloved RPG developer BioWare was sharply downsized after Dragon Age: The Veilguard proved a relative sales failure because it was bad. The impending release of Battlefield 6, which has seen a massive beta numbers and a positive critical reception, is looking like a much needed win for the company. But that is also marred because some of the devs are shitheads that can't keep their mouths shut because they're incredibly stupid. And let's just wait and see if the positive critical reception is going to uphold and how much they will sell of the game. Should the deal go through, here are some of the major studios and games that could be affected: BioWare, Respawn, DICE, Maxis, the Madden, NFL, and EA Sports College Football series, the dormant Dead Space, oh no, I forgot Dead Space, Need for Speed series, the once dormant Skate, the Command and Conquer was EA? I forgot that. The Origin Systems playback catalog, including Ultima and Wing Commander. Whoa, Wing Commander, those were the times, man. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Am I Pepperidge Farm? Man, I played the first Wing Commander back in the day. That was awesome. But yeah, speaking of Sims, because I have another thing, we're just going to go really fast through this one because this is by Sims Community Info. I'm not going to go through everything. They're just having a breakdown because, yeah, well, a record-breaking deal could change EA's future. Here's what it might mean for The Sims and its future. Electronic Arts, the publisher behind The Sims and owner of Maxis, is reportedly on the verge of one of the biggest changes in gaming history. It has been reported by the Wall Street Journal that EA is in talks to go private in a massive $50 billion deal backed by investors including Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund and affinity partners. The firm, led by Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of US President Donald Trump. The funny orange man. I mean the content president, man. He's just so funny. If finalized, this would be the largest buyout the video game industry has ever seen, and it could have major implications for EA's future, including the Sims franchise. I love how they're just focusing on The Sims, but yeah, it makes sense because it's Sims community info, but this has bigger repercussions for the whole video game industry. So the funny thing here is, it's not funny at all, but what I want to show you is the risk and concerns human rights. While a buyout could open new opportunities for EA and the Sims franchise, it also carries significant risks that could affect the company. Large buyouts often involve taking on substantial debts, which could see EA forced to prioritize short-term financial returns over long-term creative projects, such as Project Renee. I don't know what Project Renee is, but yeah, because EA is in long-term financial returns. Yeah, of course, of course. They have some of those, but they aren't really that good. Just look at the monetization of their mobile apps. While the full impact and whether or not the buyout will occur are still to be seen, the risks highlight why players should pay close attention to the potential new ownership. The thing here is, this is always just like, there are so many people around that are, oh, but Sims is so inclusive. They made it inclusive. It was never exclusive. Sims was always the game that you could just play, and it was the most inclusive game basically back in the day. And yeah, to be fair, I basically just played it maybe combined 10 hours. My house burnt down. I drowned my Sims in the pool and so on. And yeah, I was never the type of person to play these games. But again, this is the thing here we have with the Saudi Arabian government, because homosexuality is illegal and there is a death penalty as punishment, so there is going to be censorship. Changing the gender is going to be illegal. Non-binary gender recognition is going to go. Hate crime protections unknown. House discrimination. Oh, housing discrimination. That's going to be interesting in The Sims. Employment discrimination, intersex, infant surgery, military illegal, conversation therapy not banned, age of consent not available, gender affirmation care, discrimination, adoption, donating blood is legal. Whoa, wow, at least that. But yeah, they have a lot of course, concerns, and I do understand because I am always in the boat of I don't like censorship, no matter what kind of censorship it is. And because it's, again, like with Dragon Quest, where they giving the I already forgot her name again, Aisha or whatever her name was, where they give her pants or shorts basically, and it's just like, yeah, give them your hand and they will take your arm. I don't like censorship. I will always go against censorship. But I don't want to see even The Sims being censored. I don't want the Saudi Arabian government censor games. This is already happening again with Tencent and Chinese games. This has happened for League of Legends, where Graves is somehow not a smoker anymore. They wanted to do what was his name? The big drunk? Oh, Gragas. They wanted to take away his drunkiness, which is also that's just him, man. Let's leave him drunk. What? It's a fictional character, and I'm saying that as an alcoholic. I'm sober for a couple of years, but still, it's a video game. And yeah, skeletons are not being allowed in Chinese games and so on. And yeah, again, there is just so much that there is wrong with this acquisition of EA. I really, really do not like that. This is going to be really interesting for the future. Again, if you know someone who wants to open up a publishing thingy, please tell me. I'm really, really interested in that. And yeah, please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. for all of this, because there's been a lot. I'm sorry, this is a rather long video today. But yeah, please remember to do all the things that make the dings. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more video game news every day. And by that I of course mean like and subscribe, and if you want you can share this video with your friends, and please turn off YouTube's restricted mode. Otherwise, have a great day my friend, stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you tomorrow with the next video. Bye, bye, bye.